Hello, I am Adam from Watford Opinions, and what a result that is. A 1-0 victory over Preston. Now, it wasn't the most pretty of performances, but it wasn't terrible either. Like when we played Birmingham away and won 1-0 through a penalty, there was a feeling of, well, like that was just so undeserved. Like we won, but it's harsh on Birmingham. We didn't deserve it. But this match, it was a 1-0 victory through a penalty, the penalty being our only shot on target. But there was still just a feeling of, well, we deserve this. This is the correct result. I mean, we were the better team, and the 3 points was no less than what we deserved. After we scored, Preston did get a bit of an upper hand at phases during the match, but we didn't really look like we were going to be broken down for the most part. And going forward, it seems Xisco has finally been able to find the proper tactics and get the right identity. I've done a video with the Watford way, which will be getting uploaded the day after this is posted, about why the 4-3-3 is working so well for Watford and why Watford need to stick with it. And it showed today as well. The wing play was being utilized brilliantly. Femenia was making some phenomenal overlapping runs with Sar. Messina didn't do as much with Sema in terms of the overlapping, which I think it would be better if they did more of. But then again, Sema is better at getting down to the byline, which doesn't call for overlapping runs. But the wide play was utilized really well, and there does really seem to be an identity to the team now. Defensively, we're sound. Ciaralta did start off a bit shaky. Evans did cause some problems early on, but Ciaralta rectified that. But there does seem to finally be that identity. The midfield control is completely solidified. In the matches where we've struggled, such as Coventry City away, to name one, the reason the club struggled so much is because there was no midfield control. The 4-4-2 isn't really conducive for controlling the midfield, as you only have two central midfielders. But with a 4-3-3, in which you have Chalobah, Gosling, Cleverley, and Hughes, well, obviously only three of the four, those are all quality midfielders, and if you have three of them, you're going to have control of the midfield. And the movement from the midfield was phenomenal as well, providing for the overlapping runs, because if Sar makes a run forward and then Femenia bursts forward as well, one of the midfielders also showed in to create another option. So then they were making the overloads on the wing, which is exactly what Xisco wants in terms of his attacking style of play. There seems to be a true wide attacking identity now, something that's been absent before. So it's good to see that Xisco does seem to know what the team needs. Now, Dini has been said that he'll be out for a bit of time as he recovers from an injury, and hopefully he recovers healthy and well and soon. But it does seem like this formation might not even be the best for Dini, and that Pedro could be the best option for this formation. And yes, Pedro scored from a penalty. And if Dini scored from a penalty, we'd be giving him stick about it. Like, yeah, you scored, but it was from a penalty. But anyways, Pedro did well to earn the penalty as well. His positioning was good, and he looked decent today. I mean, again, Pedro hasn't looked at his best, but he's looked very solid. Sema did well to give the ball to Pedro to win the penalty, but having Pedro in the 4-3-3 is a very flexible thing to have, because Pedro could even play as a false nine if needs be. Peretza can play in there. And again, I wouldn't think it would be awful to have Dini in a 4-3-3. He wouldn't be my first choice, but as we saw in the first half, there was a lot of crosses where there was no target, and Dini is a good target to have. So maybe having Dini in there won't be so bad after all. But overall, it wasn't the best performance. It definitely wasn't a 6-0 against Bristol City. It wasn't equal to that, but it wasn't awful either. Yes, 1-0 from a penalty as your only shot on target is never the best. It's never desirable in terms of stats besides goals, but at the end of the day, the goal is all that matters, and it's not like it was undeserved. It was a impressive performance. It wasn't the best, but it definitely wasn't worrisome as other victories have been at times. Thank you.